Good evening, everyone. Tonight what we're going to be talking about is something different. All week in class we've been using protractors to find the measure of angles. Tonight what we're going to be talking about is finding the measure of an unknown angle without a protractor. So we have to use our knowledge that we've already gained when we've talked about angles and measurement and geometry so far this year. So let's review really quick. We'll look over here first, please. These are straight angles. As you remember, straight angles are 180 degrees. No matter which way they're facing, okay, if they're horizontal, if they're vertical, or if they're diagonal, they are always 180 degrees. Also, circles have 360 degrees. We talked about making one full turn in a circle with a line and a ray. One full turn gives us 360 degrees. A half turn gives us 180 degrees, which makes a straight line. We are going to use this knowledge to help us with our new skill today. So let's look at a problem right away. Okay, here's our first problem. Two angles form a straight line, a straight angle. One angle measures 107 degrees. What is the measure of the other angle? Well, I'm going to use cubes first to help me figure this out. So I'm going to read this carefully again. It says, so I'm going to circle numbers. Two angles form a straight angle. One angle measures 107 degrees. Now let's underline the question. What is the measure of the other angle? And then some key words here. Well, two angles form a straight angle. So you know what the best way to solve this problem is to draw a picture. So here's my picture of this. If I have a straight angle and two different angles form it, and one of those angles is 107 degrees, I need to try to figure out what this angle is. And I'm going to mark that with the letter X because I don't know what it is. Now, what could I do to solve this? First of all, I know the total of this line because it told me it was a straight angle. Based on my knowledge that I've learned in class, I know that straight angles are 180 degrees. So this whole line here is 180 degrees. Now I already know that 107 degrees is this angle here, but I don't know what this side is yet. So I can take away 107 from 180. So that would be 7, 10. That would mean that this angle is 73 degrees. And I can check this by seeing that this is an acute angle and this is an obtuse angle, which matches my picture. Also, I can re-add these numbers together and see that I was right in my subtraction, and this total is 180 degrees. We're going to do a couple more together. So again, we're using our knowledge of what a straight angle measure is. Alrighty, here's our next problem. If I have my notes. If I have a straight angle and I have an acute angle breaking it up like that, and I know that this side is 75 degrees, what would be this side? I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to solve this on your own, and I'm going to go over it after you pause it. So go ahead and hit pause, try to figure out the measure of this angle. Alright, so you should try to figure out the measure of this angle here. Well, I know from my knowledge before that this whole line is a measure of 180 degrees. Is 180 degrees. So I'm going to take my knowledge of that, and I'm going to take what I already know, that one's 75, and I'm going to subtract it away. So this changes to a 7, 10. So this angle here has to be 105 degrees. And I can check this again by seeing that this is an obtuse angle, and an obtuse angle with an acute angle can help me get to 180. All right, let's try another one. If I have a straight line And then I have this. And I have this angle, and I have 3 different angles here. And if this angle is 60, and this angle is 65, what could be the measure of this angle? Well, the first thing I noticed is that here I have a straight line. And all of these angles touch my straight line. And so that means the total of these has to be 180 degrees. But for this one, I'm going to have to do a couple more steps. I'm going to have to add these 2 angles together. 60 plus 65, which would get me 125. And then I'm going to have to subtract it from 180 to get the measure of this angle here. So 180 minus 125 would be 765, 55 degrees. And the total of these 3 angles here, 1, 2, 3, is a half turn. So we know it has to equal 180 degrees. Now you're going to do 2 problems at home for homework tonight. If you don't understand it, it's okay. We're going over in class tomorrow, and you can work with me a lot tomorrow, and we're going to be doing it on Friday as well, or Thursday and Friday as well. So if you don't understand, it's totally okay. Try watching the video again, and maybe something will click, but we will be going over this in class. So for your homework tonight, I'd like for you to try these 2 problems. The first one is this. This is 50 degrees. We're trying to figure out that measure. And then we have this one. It's not perfect drawing. Again, you're solving for x, so you're trying to figure out what x is in both of these numbers. Please remember our review and the information that we've already learned. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!